Something I'm really proud of at IKEA is that we have a female CEO. That in itself is, inspiring. It's something that says to everybody that works for IKEA and even externally that you can achieve the highest ranks in a global company like IKEA and be female. And then under her is many female leaders. Even for myself, I'm in logistics now. And logistics is a very male-dominant field, and I've had no barriers. A lot of my colleagues as well are female, and if I was in store, I could be moving pallets, replenishing shelves. There's absolutely no barriers to that whatsoever, just because of gender. I started off at IKEA as a sales co-worker, and from there I was encouraged actually by my leader at the time to apply for a business-to-business sales position. She saw that I had potential in that space, and at the time as well it was a full-time position. What ended up happening was that I was a favoured candidate for that role, and they accommodated to just give me 60 hours a fortnight, which is part-time, to accommodate my needs at the time with juggling children and working. So I felt very supported in that journey. From there, I was also named successor by my leader at the time. He trained me up to become a leader for IKEA for Business, and it was only a year and 2 months in that he said, "You're ready." He was ready to move on to another role, and I was ready to step into that space. I was nervous, absolutely nervous, but the encouragement, he actually provided me with a lot of mentorship and said, "You can do it." I did explain to him that I had, imposter syndrome, you could say, a little bit of an imposter syndrome where I didn't feel fit to do the role. The fact that I wear a hijab and that I am from a Muslim background, the fact that I was a female, also didn't have a university degree or a background at the time, and I felt that maybe I couldn't do it. But I was encouraged to overcome those fears and apply anyway. I did, and I got the job. I did a very good job. While I was IKEA for Business leader, I was then encouraged to take on the road store, which I did without hesitation. And then now stepping into service fulfillment operations developer, I felt that I had more to give to the company, and that was recognised by my leaders. I had great support from my leaders, understanding that I did maybe need to duck out and pick up the kids here and there. It was embraced, and I feel that my journey was just seamless, from co-worker all the way now working in our head office.
Gender equality has been a focus for IKEA globally for a number of years, and locally here as well we've progressed a lot. We do have an inclusive succession approach, and that's a guide for all line managers to follow to make sure that the successors for roles are diverse, and gender is a big part of that. We also deliver unconscious bias training for all line managers, and that's a key part in reducing those barriers and making sure that bias isn't at play when we are recruiting, and succession is part of that to make sure that we can reflect the societies in which we operate. The biggest thing that diversity brings, and having that gender equality and that balance, is it brings different perspectives, and it helps people feel included and welcome, and that helps them to bring their whole selves to work.
Working in an environment that's very welcoming definitely has a major impact in my performance. I've been able to just be myself. I really embrace what the company wants from me, as well as the ability to give the company what my experience allows me to contribute. My brother brought me into the company. He's still here. Not only that, but I've also invited my younger brother to come and work with us. IKEA is one of those companies that I'm proud to work for.